Okay, so I do all these videos talking all of my crap. I mean, I'm not clairvoyant or anything. It's just some things are painfully obvious. And if you know who Joe Biden is, you know that he is has historically. This isn't anything that even just started recently. He's historically been a guy that has no issue supporting war efforts in the Middle East. Period. That's just not my opinion. That's what it's always been. Okay. Now, for some idiots, they go by way of rhetoric. So when someone says something, or rather they want something that they want to believe, there's something that they want to believe. I tell you this all the time about how leftists try to speak things into existence. They're very good at doing that, and there's a lot of useful idiots out there that vote. This is why democracy can never, ever be considered a good thing when you consider the simple fact that not only 51% of people can get what they want, essentially, but also in the simple fact that there are a lot of stupid people. So not only is you got half of the population that not half of the population, half of the voting population that may want something and may end up getting it in a democratic sense. You also have to add to the fact that those 51 people or over are also stupid, you know? So we sit here and the media fans these flames that Trump is the worst person in the world. And I'm not here to dispute whether or not he is or isn't. But that is so useful to them, and it's an effective tool to be able to point that out, because what it does is it allows them to get away with the loot. It's like yelling squirrel at a dog, right? And the dog just, with his short attention span, just looks at you, at where you're pointing. That's basically how a lot of the modern leftists and old, young, in terms of how they vote. That sounds like a very harsh thing, but it's a reality. And I don't see why we must hold our tongue about this type of stuff. They're stupid. We're not even, barely a little bit over a month into this whole ordeal, right? Not even just with the pipeline stuff. You had those crackhead ass union workers who sat up there and supported this man. And then basically at a wave of a magic wand, just a lot of these guys got the Jobs Act, and then you had some of these union guys were like, wait a minute, not even union workers, like using union presidents and so forth, criticizing Biden because they're like, oh, this wasn't what we supported. Right here, in another instance, is war in the Middle East. See, I don't know how your dumb ass could have ever assumed that was going to be a thing. But again, you lead with your emotions, right? You lead with your emotions. So for you guys that have not heard, U.S. recently, as of yesterday, carried out an airstrike in Syria. I mean, this is what they were talking about when he said America is back. This is exactly what he was referring to, man. It is back. It's back to doing what they have been known for doing, and that is bombing the crap out of people in the Middle East. Okay? This is what they do best. This is what they have historically done, and this is what they've done best. But hey, Mr. Joe Biden can get away with saying things like this. This was on the 7th, ironically enough, of last year. So a year, almost a full year. Well, actually a little more than a full year. On the 7th of February, 2020, he says, as president, I will use military power responsibly. I will use military power responsibly and as a last resort. Oh man, this guy here, man. He said we will not go back to forever wars. We will not go back to forever wars in the Middle East. This motherfucker would have got elected, man. And barely a month and some change. Oh man. And he already at it. You saw Biden voters posting this L. This is why a lot of people have been tagging me in this, because it was this person who had said something about, because I called this, like, let's go to my post. This was actually responding to this person says, imagine being dumb enough to believe Joe Biden is literally going to bomb the Middle East. You Trumpers are lunatics. Well, remember, you got to remember, obviously, the guys that follow me know that I don't support Trump in any form. But you got to understand we're dealing with stupid people. And anybody to the right of Bernie Sanders is a Trump supporter to them. And I retweeted it. This was the post that they were responding to. This was last month on the 24th of January. So the Hill wrote something, and it says, title is which Joe Biden might bring unity to the Middle East. And I say about bombing the shit out of him because, I already knew this was happening. And there's a lot of, hey, you called it. Like, I did, but I feel like anybody should have been able to call it if they had been just paying attention or understand America in terms of their foreign policy and how it's been. And considering Joe Biden, you already have a reference point, not just with the administration before Trump, but considering his voting record and what have you. Like, this should have been seen from a mile away. I called it, but you should have been able to call it too. So he bombed Syria. You got all these guys with the eat-ass face. They're sitting here like, whoa, I just saw the Trump was the bad. The Trump was the bad one. He was the bad one. He said mean tweets. Why are we doing the same shit? You promised this, you promised this. Look, see, a lot of folks will say, including crackhead, non-leftists, too, the culturally inept ones who get mad at me because I rag on leftists all the time. And they say, yeah, you're a libertarian, you rag on leftists too much. This is a time when you should be trying to segue them into the, like, no. See, you're stupid. I'm not, right? You don't understand how they operate. I do. And this is why I believe absolutely these people should be mocked and shamed. They should be mocked and shamed. You should be relentless. When you see someone who sat there and was lecturing everybody or went all in on Biden just for the sake of stopping Trump and all of this stuff, kumbaya, they deserve to be mocked and shamed, made fun of. Time and time again, as aggressive as you possibly can. And by aggressive, I don't mean like literal aggression in a libertarian sense, like going to fight someone. No, I am saying that they should be mocked and shamed and made fun of. No remorse. None. No, oh, well, hey, we're going to coddle your feelings. Hey, you finally get it now? No, they should be made fun of. You know why? Because it's the only way they get it. If reason to work on them and you could say, hey, here's the evidence that supports something to the contrary or what you thought was going to happen, they wouldn't be the way that they are. They should be mocked, made fun of, and shamed. If they have buyer's remorse, it shouldn't be any of that nonsense. What y'all sitting on trying to lecture me talking about, well, this could be your chance to bring them to liberty. Yeah, you're right. You're right. About making fun of their ass. That's how. These are emotional brainlets that you're dealing with. It's the only way they get it. They should feel bad. Make them feel bad. They should feel bad about it. They should. For real, they should feel bad about being this stupid. So then, maybe that emotion will turn into them thinking. You know who that happened to once? This guy right here. I used to be a leftist. You lose a couple of arguments, you get shamed out of your position because you really don't know what the hell that you're talking about. Then that leads you down a rabbit hole to want to learn. Not everybody operates by way of just bringing them reason and bringing them logic, bringing them evidence, and then all of a sudden they get it. No, these people should be mocked, shamed, and made fun of, especially considering how arrogant a lot of them are anyway. Right? Joe Biden is exactly what I thought he was. And that's the way I took the damn field. Now, if you want to crown him, then crown their ass. But Joe Biden he's exactly who I thought he was.